Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're talking about money. Money is super important. I have $3 sitting here from the thumbnail. That's my Dr. Pepper money from my girlfriend because she knows I like Dr. Pepper. But money is super important, and having a budget is so important to using your money well. You may not think it's important. You may think I can just spend whatever I want. I know I'll cover all the bills. But if you want to make money long term and really grow in wealth and be able to buy a house and support a family and save for retirement, you have to have a budget. You can't depend on the get rich quick schemes or the 1 in a million shot of becoming a successful YouTuber or TikToker or whatever. You have to have a budget. Because if you don't, you're just going to spend your more money the same way you're spending your little bit of money. The Bible says, he who is faithful with little will be faithful in much. And so, for example, for me, the way I spend my little bit of money dictates how I would also spend a lot of money. So if like my income doubled, I would still spend my money in pretty much the same exact way. I would give a bunch away, I would save a little bit, I would cover all my expenses, and then whatever else is just going somewhere else to donations, into charities. But budgeting is also super important because it lets you build wealth over a long period of time. If you set aside money for savings, that can snowball into a lot of money in the future. And another important fact, you can't necessarily control how much you make. You can't control minimum wage. You can't control how much your boss chooses to pay you. Those factors are basically outside of your area of control. And so if you want to build wealth long term, you have to work with what you can control, which is how you spend your money. So here on my MacBook, I have opened up a numbers document. It is actually my own personal budgeting document. You'll see a bunch of different tabs on here. So we're going to dive right into this, and I'm going to show you a very simple but effective way to make a budget. So let's jump right in. First things first, you have to kind of think in mind, have in mind, how much do I make a month? Let's say I'm going to put this in this top box, and let's say I make $2,000 a month. From there, you can kind of think, what do I have to spend money on? What are my most essentials? And here on this table, I have listed in basically order of most to least important for many reasons, what you need to make sure you covered. For example, rent. If I don't pay my rent, I don't have a roof over my head. So for example, my rent is $700 per month. And so we're just gonna put that in. Water. I don't have a water bill because my water is lumped into my rent. So I have $0 for that. My electric bill, that can vary a lot. I tend to budget for the high end when my electricity is really high, like during the summer when the AC is running a lot. And in those months, it tends to be about 60 because I have a really efficient apartment. In fact, the last few weeks, it's only been like 20 bucks, which is, or the past couple of months, it's only been about 20 bucks a month for electricity because I'm so conservative with that. Gas, that's talking about natural gas. If you have a gas heater, a gas stove, gas water heater, I don't, so that's $0 for me. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is kind of very important in this day and age. My Wi-Fi bill is, I believe, $85 and some change. So I'm gonna put 85 in there. Cell phone. My cell phone bill is kind of egregious because I'm paying my monthly installment on my iPhone 12 Pro, which I bought semi-recently. So my cell phone bill ends up coming out to, I think, $98 a month. I don't know why I'm now putting decimal points on these new ones. Medical insurance, that's also super, super important. If you can't get that through a job, you need to get that somewhere so you don't get charged for it. Or it's a penalty fee or something during tax season. I get mine through my employer, and it comes out before I even see my paycheck, so that counts as $0. Renter's insurance, most renters, I guess they're not renters, they're whatever. Most like apartment complexes require you to have some kind of renter's insurance. Most homeowners from whom you're going to rent require that as well. I think mine comes out to about $22 a month. Car insurance, that's also super important in case you get in an accident. That on mine comes out to about $70 a month. Food, that includes groceries to make food in the kitchen. That can include dining out if you choose to do that regularly. Again, I highly recommend you don't do that as much because dining out is way more expensive in the long run than dining at home. So I usually budget about 60 bucks a pay period, and that ends up that comes out to about 120 bucks a month for me. And that's just how I spend my money. Transportation, that includes gasoline for your vehicle, that includes bus passes, Lyft, Uber, subway pass, any kind of public transit system that you have. For me, gasoline, I spend about 30 bucks a pay period, which comes to about 60 bucks a month. Here's a big one, debt. Debt is a huge thing you need to do as much as you can to get rid of. That is just eating up your money, which I say having an installment plan on my cell phone. This can include car payment and student loan payments. This doesn't technically count a mortgage because that would be your rent at the very top, your number one priority. But any other debt, credit card debt, you just need to get rid of it as soon as possible. I have a car payment that comes out to about $278 per month. Savings. Savings is the next most important thing. If you are not saving money month to month, even if it's like 50 bucks, 100 bucks, you need to be saving money. That is how you're going to grow your wealth in the long run. You can't just spend 100% of your income and expect to move up financially in the world. So let's say for savings, I'm going to put that at about $200 a month because I'm up to saving $300 a month because of my various other expenses. But getting a good benchmark in here is going to be very, very helpful. And if you find out that you're over budget, you can always trim that a little bit. Do not cut it out though. It is on this list where it is because it is more important than the next things on the agenda, on the budget. The entertainment, that includes subscription services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I have a couple for my Apple iCloud account. I have a couple so I can read manga. So I end up paying, I'm going to say 30 bucks a month to subscription fees. In fact, that used to be a lot higher because I paid for some stuff for my work that I canceled. I paid 10 bucks a month as a penalty for, or a service charge for having under 1,000 in my checking account, whatever. Clothes, if you're buying new clothes every single month, first of all, what the heck are you doing? Second of all, budget for that. For me, that ends up being, I tend to buy some stuff at Walmart. That's where I buy groceries, but groceries is accounted for elsewhere. But it's also where I buy cleaning supplies, whether it's shampoo, body wash, laundry soap, dish soap, house cleaning supplies, any other miscellaneous things that I need, I usually buy from Walmart because it's convenient. So let's put about 100 in there just to be safe. Again, this doesn't mean you're going to spend all this money every single month, but it means you are ready for it if you have to. I don't have to buy laundry detergent every single month, but it's good to know I have money available without, having to eat ramen for a few weeks. Dining out, I usually only eat out like once a week. So let's say about 40 bucks a month. But this is something that can easily go away, and it will probably be the first thing to go if I am over budget. And then donations. For me, giving away my donations are a huge priority. So I would actually put this up like right after savings, maybe even above savings, because that's kind of how I've been doing it. But for me personally right now, I give away $350 a month, I think. But this is roughly what my budget looks like. And so when we get to this bottom cell, that's what they're called, this bottom cell, this box here, what's great is I can hit enter and I can type sum and then a parentheses, and then I can select all of these boxes. And then I close the parentheses, hit enter, and it tells me how much I'm spending month to month. And then for my net gain, I can do equal sign $2,000 minus whatever the total is in that box. Hit enter, and I'm at a negative $213 every single month. Now, at this point, it is super easy to fix a budget because then I can just go in and say, oh, I don't have money to afford $30 in streaming services. Let's cut out Netflix, bump that down to $15 a month. Let's dine out only once a month, like once every 2 weeks, twice a month. Let's be a little sparse with my spending at Walmart. And all of a sudden I'm just making cuts everywhere that I can. And if you do this before, I like to do this before I start donations, which is the last item on the list. And then you could just basically cut that item out. If I realize, oh, I need to be saving for a big move or a big work project or a house project or buying a house, I can zero that out and get all of that money back all of a sudden. And then that can go into savings and bump savings up to 400, and I'm still 22 bucks in the clear. So that is a very simple way to make a budget. If you have any more money questions, drop those in the comments down below. I love talking about money, and I would love to teach you more about how to manage your money well. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later, nerds.